What's up, YouTube? If you want to know how I melted this lace, please stay tuned and continue to watch the video to the end. And I'm back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a hair review on 13 by 4 26-inch wig provided by the Unforgettable Touch. Honestly guys, this hair has to be the best hair that I've ever worked with. Like, this is actually Indian hair and the lace is transparent. Comes with a full 13 by 4 frontal, not a lace front but a lace frontal. As you can see, look at all that parting space. So you're gonna have a lot of parting space. My first impression of this hair was, first of all, the quality. When I first touched it, it had literally no shedding. The second thing I noticed, that this wig was actually true to length. This is a 24-inch. Y'all see it with y'all eyes, like, look at that, like butter. Like, this is literally butter. Like, hands is literally just gliding through it. Like, I can do all this and hands still glide through. Like, look at that. Another thing about this that caught my eye was the knots. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but the knots are really small. Let's talk about what all came up in my package. So what all came up in my package, I have received a wig cap, a bonnet, some lashes, and 2 headbands that she sent in for me. And she also sent in these clips that came with her business cards. So here's her, the back of the business card. Definitely would recommend this hair, like, for sure. Like, what? Like, this is why you always shop black owned, because your people don't look out for you. Like, yes, I paid for this hair out of my own pocket. I did not get this hair for free or anything, so this is like a real raw review. I love everything. I love all the things she sent over. I cannot wait to use this bonnet, y'all. Like, I'm so excited, and I'm so excited to install this hair. I'm actually going to be installing this hair for my birthday. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to bleach the knots, I'm going to dye the hair jet black, and I'm actually going to be adding in this blonde bundle that I got from my local beauty supply store. And I'm gonna do like a Oreo hair color theme for my birthday. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by bleaching the knots on the wig, and then after I'm done bleaching the knots, I'm gonna take this blonde bundle and I'm gonna dye it like a silver gray color. So I'm gonna use this BW2 powder, and I'm gonna use 40 volume developer bleach to bleach my knots. So I'm taking my developer and my BW2 powder, and I'm going to take 1 scoop of my BW2 powder. I used to use like 2 scoops, and I noticed that it will always be too much, and you know, it already don't come with a lot in the container anyway, so I started using less, and it always ended up being just the right amount. So I used 1 scoop of the BW2 powder, and I'm just, you know, eyeing it with the developer. I'm just adding as I go. And as you add it, you want it to get to like a thick toothpaste consistency. Now I'm going to take some Got2b spray, and I'm going to be using that to spray the hairs back. So when I start bleaching the knots, it won't really be, you know, in the way. You want everything to be slicked back while you're bleaching the knots. So here you can see I'm just going to start applying the bleach onto the knots. And I usually start, like, you know, by the edges of the hair, because that's what you really want to be bleached. Like, even if you can't like bleach the knots, like that's like in the back of the wig, it's okay, because you can always cover that up with some concealer. So you really want to focus on the edges when you bleach the knots to make sure you get those first. But yeah, I'm going to bleach the whole frontal, but just mainly focusing on the edges. So now I'm finished applying all the bleach, and I'm just going to go in with my popsicle stick and basically just push the bleach onto like the other side of the lace just a little bit, just to cover all of the knots like on the other side too, so that it'll look like scalp. Here I just got done applying everything, and as you can see, the knots are already starting to process. That right there just told me like, wow, this must be some good hair, because it's literally already starting to process and lift really well. Here I'm going to be taking my Adore dye, and I'm just going to be dyeing the blonde bundle. And I tried to attempt to dye it by hand first, but as y'all can see, that did not go well. Yeah, I didn't really have no idea what I was doing for real. I never really dyed no hair besides black hair, and every time I dye black hair, I just dye it jet black. So I really didn't know what I was doing in this. So when I realized that it was not going good, I did end up doing the water method. Like, you know, when you water dye the hair, I end up switching over and doing that method. But yeah, girl, I thought I was doing it. I thought I was eating it up. I was definitely not eating it. So yeah, I ended up fixing it though. So as y'all can see, I finally realized that the hand dyeing process was not going to work. So I did end up switching over to the water dyeing process, and it ended up coming out much better. I wish I would have did this in the beginning. Okay, so the lighting is really bad in here, but I just got done dyeing my hair, and it did not come out how I wanted to, but it's like more blue than gray. But girl, I'm gonna make it work, because I ain't gonna let my money go to waste. That bundle was like $120. The wig is done bleaching. It bleached real fast, like took about a good 15 minutes. That's how you know it's some good hair. But I'm gonna wash that out real quick, and then I'm gonna pluck it, and then I'll be back with y'all next weekend when I install it. So I'm just gonna rinse the bleach off, and then I'm gonna dye it jet black. Then I'm gonna be back next week when I put the silver bundle in the as highlights. So yeah, I'll be back. So I'm back again, y'all, and I'm going to be taking my wig cap that Miss Shannon from the Unforgettable Touch sent me, and I'm going to be using this to achieve my bald cap. When I do my bald caps, I be using 2 caps because I have super thick hair, and I be wanting my hair to lay as flat as possible, so I use 2 caps to help, you know, flatten out the hair. So here I'm going to be cutting out my ear tab. So here I'm just going to be putting on the wigs just to see how I want it to lay, how far I want the wig to be down on my forehead, and just like trying to see overall how it fits. So I'm just going to go in and pluck a little bit more, because I noticed on the other side it's a little bit more plucked than it is on this side, and I want it to look equal. Then I'm just going to take my hot comb and just comb everything back, just to like have a smooth, you know, foundation and have all the hairs out the way, because when you go to lay it down, you don't want no hair in the way. Then I'm going to take some Ruby Kids foundation and just apply some to my cap, and then I'm also going to go in and apply some to that lace. So now I'm just going to go in with that Eben lace spray in the black can, and I'm going to be using this to achieve my bald cap. I like this way better than Got To Be hairspray, because the Got To Be hairspray is really harsh on the edges, and I feel like it be having like that white cast, and I don't like that white cast look. So then I'm going to blow dry that on cool until it's like all the way dry. So after, you know, I finish cutting it off, I'm just going to go in with a little bit more makeup and just apply that to my cap so I can get as close to my skin color as possible. So now I'm going to put the wig back on just to start to cut off my ear tabs. And let me tell y'all a story. Tell me why when I cut off the ear tabs, I actually cut them too short. And then I had to take the ear tab that I cut off and glue it right back onto my hair. So I'm so sad about that because I had accidentally cut too much of the lace off. And it's like once you cut it off, you cannot put it back on. So now I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to fix this frontal when I take it off. I'm probably going to have to, sew like a piece on as like a ear tab replacement or something. But yeah, I'm really sad about that. But y'all will see how I did that, how I fixed it. Because y'all know I'm really superwoman when it comes to the hair. So ain't nothing gonna, get me down. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing right here. So look, here we go. When I had, messed up the ear tab, I had tried to glue it back on using some white hair glue. Because that's all I had. I didn't want to use like no black hair glue. So, because the white hair glue, it dries clear, so I tried to use that. But y'all can see on the it's that my right side. Y'all see how it's like hanging like that? That's why I was cut right there, because I had actually glued it back on because I messed it up. But I had ended up finessing it somehow, but I'm just so sad that I did that in the first place. So here I'm just going to go ahead and start melting the lace using the black even spray. I had already put some on the middle part, so I'm just combing the glue into the lace. I had used the red can and I had used the black can, so y'all gonna see me show y'all in a minute. And I'm gonna go in and start doing the sides. I also took, I think I used like 3 layers of the spray, because I used 2 layers of the black can. Then the last layer I just used the red can, just because I don't have no reason why I did that. I just did it. So yeah. So right here, I'm just gonna go in and cut all that extra lace off my face, because I hate when like all that extra lace just be hanging down up in the way. It's not needed anyway, so I just cut it off just to get it out the way. So I'm just doing the same thing over here that I did to the other side. I'm gonna apply those same 3 layers or whatever, and I actually had took that little ear tab piece off so I could just go ahead and glue the this whole side down. Then I'm gonna glue the ear tab back on separately. So right here, I'm just going in and trying to size that little ear tab up. Y'all, I still can't believe I did that, y'all. Hopefully, God give me the gift, give my hands the gift to be able to just fix this, because I hate to like do a whole frontal replacement. But I'm just gonna glue it back on. You gotta do what you gotta do. Mistakes happen. I wasn't mad. I was just like, I'm gonna find a way to fix it. Because like I said, I'm superwoman when it comes to the hair. So I'm just, melting that in and trying to like alternate it. And then like I'm just gonna cut that extra, ear tab off. That's how I should have did it the first time with my dumb self. I should have did it like that. Then the little piece that I lifted up, I'm just gonna melt that back down. And yeah, just fixing it up, adding the little ear tab back up on there. I'm happy I didn't throw that ear tab away. I would have been looking so stupid if I would have threw that away. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut all that lace off using my pink eyebrow razor. And this is like a really precise step. It's not hard or nothing, but you know, it's like the most important step because it's going to determine how your lace looks and how it lays. I would definitely recommend using the eyebrow razor than to use scissors. I only use scissors when I'm getting like that extra lace off with that don't have no hair on it, because you know that's not really needed. But yep, I'm just going ahead and cutting that lace off, and yeah. So now I'm just going to go ahead and wipe all that excess glue off using some witch hazel since I didn't have any alcohol. Then all the little pieces that lifted while I was cutting it, I'm just going to use my even lace spray to lay those back down and push those back into my skin. So here I'm just going to go ahead and make my middle part and just get it like in the middle of my head and make sure it's all straight and stuff before I start hot combing and molding the part down. On my hair, instead of using like a wax stick, I prefer to use mousse to like, you know, mold my hair in place, because I feel that like using a wax stick, if you use too much, I feel like it'll make your hair like super oily and greasy looking, and mousse doesn't do that. It just literally just molds it in place. So me personally, I prefer to use mousse when like hot combing my hair, and I also like to use mousse and a little bit of gel on my edges. The mousse that I be using, I use the Tresemme Extreme Hold Mousse. I think in this video I end up using a little bit of the Cream of Nature mousse too, just for like experience, because I think I was running low on the Tresemme mousse, but that's the mousse I always use. So yep, I prefer to use mousse than to use a wax stick. So here you're going to see me applying more of that Ruby Kiss makeup onto the lace, just to tint it more into my skin. And I noticed after I applied that makeup, it really started to look just like, you know, literal skin. So now you're going to see me pulling out my baby hairs. Usually I'll do 3 swoops. I'll do 2 on the side and 1 in the middle. But this time I only did 2 because I wanted to go for like that widow's peak look with my middle part, and it didn't come out how I wanted it to come out, but it still was cute. But yep, I wanted to go for like that widow's peak look. So now I'm taking my favorite hairspray, this bed head, the hard head spray, and I'm going to spray my fingers and use my finger to place the hairspray where I want the hairspray to go. I like this better because I feel like when you just spray it straight onto the hairline, it gets onto the hair and then the hair gets all sticky and like, you know, stuck, and I didn't want it like that. And right here I'm using a little bit of that white hair glue to just like fix that air tag because it was starting to lift a little bit. So I was trying to glue it onto like, you know, the actual frontal, but it kind of worked, but then it didn't. I don't know, girl. So I'm just gonna trim my baby hairs down so they won't be hanging all in my face. So now I'm going to just go ahead and straighten my hair while I have my edges tied down. So I'm going to be using these Conair flat irons that I got from Meyer. And these flat irons was actually about like 16 bucks if I can remember. They real cheap, but for them to be real cheap, they actually really good quality. The temperature I was using, I think I was using like 340 something, like it was like under 350, and I was using such low heat because, you know, I dyed the hair and I didn't want to actually burn the dye off the hair. So when you're like putting heat on blonde hair period, or even colored hair, you want to, you know, be careful with the heat. So now I'm just cutting my edges, and then I'm about to start curling them with my mini flat iron, just so it'll make it easier for me to swoop them. I feel like when you curl them, I feel like it makes it easier like for the swoop to go a certain way because it's already curled in that direction. So I'm just going to curl my baby hairs and then curl my sideburns too. To actually swoop my edges, I'll be using a little bit of mousse, and then I just use the mousse to just shape it how I want it to be, and then I'll go back in with a little bit of gel just to like mold them into place. So this is the finishing results. I'm very happy with how it came out, and also that lace tab in the back, I had my mom cut that out after this video. But yeah, look at that hair, very much shiny and luxurious, and the way that this lace melted into my skin, I was very pleased and surprised how much it melted into my skin. By the way, this was transparent lace, so I definitely finessed it and made it work. So yeah, the quality of this hair was literally top tier, and I would definitely be shopping again, and you guys should definitely check her out. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.